Hey, welcome. This is Mazarine Trays of Wildman Fundraising and the Fundraising Career Conference and the Nonprofit Leadership Summit. I am so pleased to be here with you today, talking to you about how to break into the fundraising industry. So oftentimes people come to me with wishing to break into the industry, and I look at their resumes and I say, okay, you could do that. And you could also do this other thing, which is similar, and it can still give you kind of what you want. And so sometimes my job is to help people do that. And sometimes my job is to help people not do it. So when you think about breaking into the industry, there's several key things that you want to consider. One is, do you have any fundraising experience at all as a volunteer even? That's the first place to start. The second one is, do you know the realities of the field? Do you have any idea what different kinds of jobs are out there? You can be a specialist or you can be a generalist. If you are a specialist, you can be a grant writer. I'm sure you've heard of that. You could be an events coordinator. You could be a major gifts officer. You could do a number of other fundraising tasks. You could also be a prospect researcher. And oftentimes these jobs exist at larger nonprofits. For smaller nonprofits, oftentimes it's more helpful for you to be a generalist. So that means you might be a development associate, a development director, a development officer. And those jobs can have you doing all of the things that I just mentioned and more. So you'd be going out making major gift asks, you'd be writing grants, you'd be running events, you'd be in charge of the fundraising planning. And so that's something you really want to consider. What makes me happy to do? And how can I do more of that? Am I a self-directed person? Am I more of a person that likes to have a team around them? These are some things for you to think about. So when I broke into the fundraising industry, I ran up into probably something that you're running up against is like, you aren't going to be able to get a fundraising job until you have fundraising experience. So what I did is I created a way for me to get fundraising experience by working with very small nonprofits as a consultant first to get the experience that I needed. So I worked with a nonprofit called Gentle Muses in the South Shore of Boston. I worked with another one called Hands House. And I also co-founded a nonprofit called the Moon Balloon Project. And this is a long time ago, but it was useful for me because I'd only really had internship experience at Planned Parenthood before that. And so I really didn't know how I could persuade people to hire me in fundraising. I took classes, but that wasn't good enough. So working with Gentle Muses allowed me to get events experience, sponsorship experience, marketing experience, and also grant writing experience. And then with a startup nonprofit, we did everything. We did grants, sponsors, working with major donor. We coordinated all of the marketing materials for the nonprofit, as well as the website and the logo and all of these things. So after I did that, I decided to go to Idealist.org and see if I could find more clients because I was technically a fundraising consultant at that point. So I went to Idealist.org and I looked up the newest organizations, and then I sent out some query emails to them saying, hey, do you want fundraising help? I'd love to help you. So that's something else that you can do to break into the fundraising industry. And they don't let you search by newest organization anymore. I just checked. But you can still look and see what organizations are in your area, and you can see how big or small they are on guidestar.org and see, hey, if they're small, they're probably willing to give you a chance, versus if they're big, they're going to expect a lot of credentials from you. So that said, if you're really looking to be a specialist, you can make a lot of money specializing. The highest paying fundraising jobs are the major gifts jobs or VP of development jobs. And you can't get those without experience. So if you want to start getting the experience that will get you the highest paying jobs, you will definitely want to volunteer on a board to be able to get that major gift ask experience, as well as supervisory experience of an executive director. So you'll look more like leadership material. So I'd highly recommend that you do that. And that can also give you a good sense of how to break into fundraising by looking at what the board is responsible for, what the fundraiser is responsible for, what the ED is responsible for. And if you'd like to learn more about how to fundraise, I actually have over 10 e-courses on every aspect of fundraising, from writing an appeal letter, to writing a newsletter, to writing your annual report, to fundraising planning, to major gifts, to grant writing, getting more sponsorships, working with volunteers in fundraising, and more. So if you'd like to learn about that, go to wildwomanfundraising.com/shop. And if you'd like to join my Fundraising Mastermind Elite program, you can get all of my courses for like a really, really low price. It's like getting a $3,000 coupon to my shop. So check that out. I'll put the link under the video. And thank you so much for listening today. I hope this gave you some ideas about how to break into the fundraising field. If you would like to learn more about how to do that, please schedule a free call with me. If you go to bit.ly/mtfree30, I'd love to work with you and just, see what your challenges are and how I can help you break into the fundraising field. All right. Thanks a lot for listening. See you in the next video.